Now I'm sure we know that becoming more flexible as a climber is quite beneficial, and I carry a pretty black and white philosophy when it comes to stretching. It's called progressive overload. Treat it like a workout and actually work out. And because I have this philosophy, I don't have any progressions when I do my stretches. I just have to stretch and I try harder. For example, some might say in order to do the splits, you're gonna start in a lunge, go to a deep lunge, mayhaps do this, and then mayhaps do this, and then you can start to go like this. For me, because of my approach, I was like, well, if I want to do that, I'm just gonna start here and slowly work my way down through grueling suffering until eventually, ultimately one day, I'm like, yeah. Black and white, head on, straightforward approach. And anytime I can't get to that certain level of range of motion that I totally desire, it's not because of a inability, it's not because of genetics, it's not because I didn't do any progressions, it's not none of that. It's simply because I did not try hard enough, or I did not try hard enough over a long enough period of time in enough consistent fashion to see the results that I wanted to see. Perhaps you may have garnered this from my tone, but when I stretch, I take it very seriously for approximately 30 to 45 minutes if I actually want to get in a good stretching session and actually hope to see any form of results or progression. And I would do this every single day. If I was sore, I would stretch to the best of my abilities. If I wasn't sore, I would stretch even further beyond. If I was feeling fantastic, to the skies. If I feel completely awful and everything's all locking up on me, I'm gonna stretch to the best of my abilities, working in a little bit of muscle work, but I'm still stretching as hard as I possibly can for those 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes even longer if I hope to see progression. And mayhaps you've been stretching every single day, but you're just not seeing the progression that you wanna see. I don't doubt you one bit that you've been stretching every single day, but maybe what you mean by stretching every single day is that you've been warming up for like 10 minutes before you start your climbing sessions, just doing very simple, very easy, very not intense stretching. And that's just not how you get better at anything, really. If you want to climb V10, you can't just warm up on V2s for 2 years straight every single day and expect to climb V10. No, you gotta go for it. So let me tell you, partner, at the end of the day, if you're not flexible, it's because you don't take it seriously enough. Do you ever get nervous or scared before you do a stretch by any chance? Do you ever need to take 5 minutes to rest because you just did a stretch that was so intense that your body is like locking up on you for 5 minutes after you've done the stretch that was super intense? And then the next day you wake up and then you do the exact same thing again for an entire month, and then at the end of that month you're just more flexible than you ever thought you could possibly be? So my stretching routine is very rather simple. 90% of my stretching happens right here in the pancake formation. Bam! That's what I do 90% of the time. I complement this stretch, I complement my main stretch with a complementary stretch, which is this one. Quite nice. And then I will have accessory movements for my legs. Those accessory movements can come in many shapes, forms, and sizes. For example, it could be a butterfly, or it could be the forward fold, or the standing forward fold, or the splits, or the, I don't even know what this is called, lean forward, or just some side to side. Everything else is accessory to me. I pick one main movement, which again is my pancake. And then I focus legitimately 90% of all my time and effort into mastering this one stretch. Mastering one stretch, opens up the doors for basically all the other stretches relatively pretty good. Of course, I also have my upper body stretches, which are not as hard to attain as the lower body ones. Therefore, I won't mention them too much. But basically, my number one is just a arm circle with straight arms. Like this. This helps maintain my shoulder mobility and it feels excellent, along with this thing, which I unfortunately feel quite bad that I don't know the name of. But even when I do stuff like this, I do it pretty intensely with hopes of progression, but I'm pretty maxed out at the moment. And so if you want to improve your flexibility to help you improve your climbing, you really have to realize a couple things. One, you gotta treat it like a workout, make it into a workout. Two, it's gonna be painful. It's always going to be painful when you're trying to progress. Three, if you're not progressing, it's because you're not stretching hard enough. And four, consistency over time trumps everything. But again, go back to number three, if you're not making progress, you're not trying hard enough. I will say that stretching is probably one of the most boringest, most painful things that you can do in order to better yourself as a human being. God damn, is this shit boring as hell. Holy smokes. It's so goddamn boring. And because of that, I created another YouTube channel called Stretch With Me, where I go through stretches and you can follow along in an unstructured fashion, which will make stretching a lot more enjoyable. Go check it out. But in the meantime, God, stretching is horrible. So in all seriousness, currently I stretch like every single day for like 20 to 45 minutes, depending on how hard I want to go. And when you get to a certain level of flexibility, or whatever flexibility you want to be at, in terms of maintenance, it's really easy. About 10 to 15 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week, and you maintain your flexibility. If you want to improve upon it, exactly what I said previously, 30 to 45 minutes every single day, stretching hard, and maybe even longer than that. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, partner.